Hi and welcome back. We are now moving into Revelation chapter 11. Chapter 10 was the prelude. The mid-tribulation period is covered off in chapters 11 to 14, and then 15 is the conclusion and a transitional chapter. So in chapter 11 of Revelation, which is entitled The Two Witnesses and the Seventh Trumpet, one man takes over the world. This is the Antichrist. There have been many Antichrist spirits from the beginning of time up until now, but this is the one. This is the actual Antichrist man, and he is different to all other Antichrists throughout history. There is one time reference in each of these chapters that tells us they're related to the midpoint of tribulation. This is layered as a stack. These are the times and half a time, 1260 days and 42 months. So whenever you see these time references, you know that this is being pointed back directly to the mid-tribulation period. Daniel's prophecy in chapter 12 verse 7 points to the second half as it speaks to the end, saying that all of these events will be completed, and it's directed, the tribulation period in the middle is directed at shattering the power of the holy people and also Israel's resistance to Christ. Verse 10 to 11 is an instruction to John. So we move back into prophecy again. I want you to keep in mind that the earth has, at this point, has been reduced to a cluster of people. We're now focused on the Middle East. He's told to measure the temple, but he doesn't share the measurements. So he just tells us that there is a temple. This is the original temple that was destroyed in AD 70, and it is the temple that Jesus referenced when he was speaking with his disciples, and it was currently in construction at the time. And he said that there will come a day when the temple is rebuilt for worship, for grain offering and sacrifice, and it will be permitted there. But he also said that no stone would be unturned. This is the temple referenced in Revelation 11. So it means it must still be standing at this point, otherwise it wouldn't be referenced. Israel's temple worshippers have been spared up until this point. And remember, Daniel 9 shares that in the middle of the week, a man will reverse the covenant. A middle of the week is actually a code for the midpoint, the 3.5 period. So it's also referencing the midpoint of tribulation at the 3.5 year mark. Gentiles are still around. Otherwise, they wouldn't be referenced in this chapter as treading underfoot. And they will be around until immediately prior to Jesus' second coming. This chapter speaks about two witnesses prophesying. These are prophets for 1260 days. 3 score is 60. A score is 20. So 3 score is 3 times 20. They're clothed in sackcloth. This means and represents for us that they are temple priests, and they cannot be hurt, and they can perform amazing and awesome miracles and wonders. Verse 4 references 2 olive trees and 2 lampstands. Zechariah chapter 4 verse 1 to 7 references 2 sons of oil. A son of oil refers to an anointed one that stand by the Lord of the whole earth. Grasp this for a moment. These 2 witnesses witness to the entire earth. No human being at this point in time is not touched by their ministry. And these men will prophesy for 1260 days, 3.5 years. They are called the Lord's 2 witnesses. And if you're interested, you can look that up. These prophets bring a testimony of condemnation, like a trial prior to judgment. The reason people want to harm them is because they have the power to bring harm. And it's the same kind that has been experienced in the first half of tribulation. So the people of the earth appear or think that these two witnesses are the ones bringing the wrath. They can also supernaturally prevent harm, and they bring truth about the time of the end of the age, and people loathe it. Revelation 11 verse 6 to 11 tells us that at the appointed time, God allows the evil one to make war with and kill them. And it's in Sodom. There's great depravity, and there's references to Egypt being a place of idolatry. And the world celebrates their death. The entire world celebrates their death because they thought that these two were the ones bringing the wrath, and they disrespect them by leaving their dead bodies in the street for 3.5 days. But at that point, they come back to life and are resurrected. So they celebrate the guy who kills these two witnesses as they believe that he is relieving them from their troubles. But we know that's not the case. Great fear comes over the people, and then the two witnesses are called to heaven by God, and they ascend into the clouds. In this same hour, an earthquake comes and 7,000 people fall. And the rest of the people in this area, the remainder, give glory to God in heaven. So this is going to be a good time for the kingdom, even though it's a horrible time for the rest of the non-believers in this period. I want you to consider again that the world has been condensed to an area in the Middle East. It's not the whole world as we know it anymore. The world is now small and the population is small. The rise of the beast is about to occur. It happens in the mid-tribulation period, and the third woe is coming after these things. Verse 14 to 19 is a preview summary of the things coming at the end of the Great Tribulation. Thanks for listening. I hope this has been helpful and given you a little bit of insight into understanding Revelation chapter 11. We're going to be moving into Revelation 12, which focuses on the woman, the child, and the dragon in future videos. If you like this video, please like and share. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me on the links provided or in the comments below. Thank you and God bless.